Hello, it is I, Cooper Gardner Films. We have very pressing matters at the moment, okay? Is water wet? Okay? Is it wet? Hello, I'm, Professor, Cooper Gardner. I am here to tell you why I have, another professor. What's your professor name?
Kelsey G.
Okay, Professor Kelsey Gardner it is. This is my sister. She's blind, so get prepared. No offense to blind. I don't want to be blondest, but... Ooh, okay. Anyways, most of you watching this is probably goes to my school, so you obviously know about this debate. There's been a lot of talk about, is water wet? How many holes does a straw have? I'm not going to be talking about that straw because it's one, okay? I don't care what you think, it's one. Two exits, there's two exits. That's what you're thinking.
Just like this. It's one hole.
What if
you make it long like a straw, it's still one hole.
Okay, didn't I just say we're not going to talk about it?
Okay, yeah, that's the correct explanation. But, so water, is it wet? That is the question. Well, think about it. If you are underwater, I was thinking, well, if you're underwater, of course you're wet. Your body's wet if you're like in a pool or something. But then I started hearing about the second part of this question is once you get out of the pool, that's when you become officially wet. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyway, I really thought about something once I heard once you're out, you're officially wet. That's because in perspective of everything around you, yes, you are wet. But if you're in a pool fully underwater, then I guess compared to everything else, you're not really wet. I mean, you're covered in water. You're covered in water is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I kind of go 50-50 with this thing. If you're just covered in water underwater, or if you're wet. I mean, I'm talking about underwater because if you're out of the water and you have drips on you, you're wet no matter what. I'm talking about underwater for now. Professor Kelsey, do you have anything to say? Ask.
Are you saying that if you're completely underwater, then you're wet?
Wait, if you're complete... Okay,
Here's a scenario.
I'm not saying you're not wet. I'm saying your body is covered in water.
Okay, I have a scenario. Okay, if you're, let's say, in a foam pit or something, you're completely in it, or if you're in a ball pit or something, completely covered, you're dry, because those things are dry. But if you're in a pool, you're wet because water is wet.
So because the objects in this case are the foam cubes, vocabulary foam.
Well, I said foam pit.
So anyways, foam pit, she is saying if you were covered by dry things, you were dry. Thus forth, if you're covered in wet things, what are you doing? Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so she's saying if you're covered in dry things, then you are dry. But if you were covered in water, which is wet, then you are wet. But Kelsey say you're...
You put a blanket on you, you're still dry because the blanket's dry. But if you're underwater, you're wet because water's wet. When you come out of the water, you're still going to be wet.
Okay.
You're still going to be wet when you're out.
Listen, if I agree with you that if you go underwater, you're going to become wet, which I kind of agree, will you agree that water is not wet?
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How? How can...
Because it makes you wet, because it is wet. Just anything dry you put on you
Okay, so...
makes you dry.
What if I'm dry and I hug you, which will never happen? Will you become dry, or will you continue being dry?
I'll continue being dry.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I'm just saying, water is not wet. That's like saying, okay, you're smart. Do you have anything else to say? Like, why is water wet? Like, water it's itself. That's
Because
like
it's a
saying we're
liquid.
skin. Or wait,
Water
no.
is a liquid. All liquids are wet. Like orange juice.
Okay, that's the same question. Why are liquids wet?
Because that's just the feeling it is.
Hang on.
A wet feeling.
We gotta ask a true professional. Okay, Google. Is water wet?
On the website theguardian.com, they say, water isn't wet. Wetness is a description of our experience of water, what happens to us when we come into contact with water in such a way that it impinges on our state of being.
So I can see she kind of shared, Google kind of shared both of our views. So it said something about experience. Wetness only comes from experience from water. And then it also said wetness can be connection through water. But that's kind of hypocritical of what Google was saying, because she was saying water isn't wet, but then she said if you get connected... Wait, I honestly wasn't listening to half of that. But yeah, whatever. She said water isn't wet. Usually, I'd say the internet is wrong and stupid, which it usually is. Was that a fart? Anyways. Anyways, so yeah. You heard it here. Water is not wet. You heard it from a professional.
Me.
No, shut up. I was about to say you heard it from a professional that said water is not wet. And you heard it from Google too.
Bella. Do you think water is wet? Yeah, Bella thinks it's wet.
You're asking a dog that has fleas coming out of her anus. So, leave a like. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I forgot about the main point.
Comment down below if you think water's wet
No, shut up.
or not.
All right, look at this. Look at this. Hang on. Can you even see that? I'm not sure. All right, there we go. Look at Patrick and SpongeBob, okay? You see how they have water driplets running down their back and body? But the other half of them is in the water. Kelsey, what do you have to say to that?
Their whole body is wet right now. The top half
Is kind of wet. Because
and the bottom half is wetter because water is wet.
But I thought that was funny because earlier she said, "Oh, are you saying their bottom half is drier than their top half?" I honestly have to say that their bottom half is drier. No, not straight up, not straight
They're
up.
completely submerged in water. There's no dry spot.
No, but it's on a different factor of
No. The bottom
Science.
half is completely wet. Their top half is just wet, kind of wet, because there's some dry patches. It's not completely wet.
feminists. Speaking of feminists, let me close this baby. On our schooly news, Channel 1 News, guess what they said? They said feminists are teaching their daughters and sons not to hug as a greeting. That's like teaching them not to say thank you. So like going to a family holiday or something, like, oh, go give Uncle Joe a hug. So they're saying children shouldn't be obliged to hug. So, Bella, do you have to say anything? Do you think water is wet? And do you think that feminist thing? Oh, but I don't want to offend any feminists, but yeah, that was pretty stupid. So Bella, do you think that feminist thing was stupid, and do you think water is wet?
Water is indeed wet, and kids should hug whenever they want.
Well, you heard it from a professional. Water is not wet. No, it's not. Shut your dirty trap. I'm signing out. Subscribe, leave a comment, and like. Peace.